the sheriff's department just got themselves a fire truck. Let's check it out.
The LA County Sheriff's Department is giving us an up-close look at one of its new high-tech tools, the Firecat.
Yeah, we saw it in action during the recent fire station shooting in Agua Dulce when it was too dangerous for first responders to approach a house fire at that suspect's home.
We were extremely worried that the neighborhood would burn down.
It was June 6, 2019, when Los Angeles Sheriff's deputies responded to a call about a barricade suspect who had set this house on fire, but was also armed, firing off rounds.
So the first thing that comes to mind when I'm watching this is, I just have to say, this is kind of sad that this is a truck that's even necessary. The fact that it's a sign of the times that we've gotten to the point now where people are acting violent, hostages, shootings, things like that. Not only is that bad enough, but now they're lighting things on fire. It's really too bad that we're at this situation, but I guess it's a sign of the times. It is what it is.
The situation was too dangerous for firefighters to move in, so SWAT deputies had to find a way to prevent the flames from jumping to nearby homes.
They were forced to just use hoses that the fire department supplied to them to put water on the fire to...
So I'm looking at this photo here, and you see this engine with the master stream going spraying over, it looks like a couple houses, onto some of the exposures, or maybe it's the actual fire. I'm wondering, in a situation like this, how well it would work if you could kind of surround the block or the neighborhood, obviously doing your best to keep people safe and keep them away from a danger zone, with ladder trucks or maybe other pumpers. I mean, obviously nobody wants to see a pumper get shot or ruined. It's a very expensive truck, but it's better than a person's life. And try and protect the exposures that way. It might be a little bit more practical, but again, that's not Monday morning quarterbacking. Who knows? These situations are obviously extremely tense, extremely dynamic, extremely difficult. I'm sure everybody in this situation did the best they could with what they had.
To protect the neighborhood. But in doing so, they were completely exposed to the gunfire.
Realizing the department needed a safer way to handle these dangerous situations, this Firecat was brought in.
We can adjust the stream and adjust the direction that it's pointed just by this joystick alone. It has a 300-gallon water tank, and it'll shoot up to approximately 40 yards or 120 feet roughly, all from inside.
We recently saw...
So that seems like it's pretty cool, and it might work. Couple questions I would have is, it looks, so first thing I notice is 300 gallons is not a lot of water. And if you're going to do any sort of long-term protection of exposures in a long event, you're going to need a lot more than 300 gallons of water. 300 gallons might be fine for putting out your standard room and contents fire, but any sort of long-term protection, you're going to need more than that. It looks like they probably have some sort of way to hook up to a water supply, maybe hook a hydrant, or however they do it out there. Maybe they have other forms of water supply for a truck like this. But the other thing too is this master stream is in a fog nozzle. And if you don't know much about fog nozzles versus smoothbore, a smoothbore is essentially a solid stack of water. It's good for penetrating into a fire to put out large fires. I'm not sure how well a fog nozzle would do. I mean, even look at this. It looks like by the time it gets to the fire, it's kind of spread out. And when those water droplets are spread out, by the time they hit the fire, they don't really do a whole lot. So you might want something a little bit more. This might be an awesome brush truck. I know they have a lot of brush fires, wildland fires out on the West Coast. And it might be pretty good for protecting exposures, which it seems like that's pretty much what it's used for. But they show it here putting out an actual, it looks like a car fire. So I don't know.
All the Firecat used after a shooting at Firehouse 81. The armed suspect then lighting his Acton home on fire. Many worried the flames would spread to nearby brush. The Firecat moved in, putting out much of that fire at that home. Deputies were able to get close enough to the suspect, but he had already taken his own life.
This is a prime example of that, where we can use some new technology to safely handle some of these very volatile incidents and protect the neighborhood. That's the key, is to protect the community.
So I can't agree with him more. Again, whether this truck is good or practical or impractical, anything that helps protect the community, and certainly first responders, police, fire, EMS, I'm all for. I think this is a cool truck. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below, whether you think this is practical or good, or how well it would work, or maybe your department or your city or your area is thinking about getting something similar. If you found this entertaining, if you liked it and enjoyed it, consider giving it a thumbs up, give it a like, and I'll see you guys in the next video.